Hello and welcome to Brave Souls Rewind, Ichigo Week. Now unfortunately this is the last Ichigo I'm gonna rewind, but it's also the one that I was most excited to do. Now sure, Dangai Ichigo came out after him, but Full Hollow Ichigo was actually 6-starred after Dangai, giving Caleb plenty of time to figure out 6-star abilities. But does this mean that he's still viable? Let's find out. As always, I started with the normal attack damage build, and man is this a good build. Sure, Dangai does have a higher attack, but his is still over 700, and he's actually got a plus 30 bruiser. He also has a Nadlink and an Aranka killer that certainly helps him out. I was actually pretty impressed to see how much damage it did by only increasing his attack 100%. Not only that, but his strong attacks weren't useless. His strong attack 1 is a vortex move, though it does take 16 seconds to recharge, which is a bit high for a strong attack 1, but it certainly comes in handy. Not only that, but his strong attack 2 has a 160% mag, and even with a Chappie, it was still enough to kill some enemies. In this build, his strong attack 3 wasn't as useful as the other ones, but it did have better range, and it served to knock enemies down. Overall, this is still very much a viable build, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably a build I'll be using regularly, just because it is a fun character, and it does a pretty decent amount of damage. Next, I tried the strong attack damage build, and if you remember earlier I said his strong attack 2 has a 160% mag, so I was actually pretty excited to see this build, especially since he has a plus 40 bruiser, which is better than any other Ichigo we've seen so far, other than the ones that had Frenzy. The end result was actually a little better than I thought. I knew his strong attack 2 would do a decent amount of damage, and I figured his strong attack 3 would too. The only thing I was concerned with was his strong attack 1, because it is a vortex move, and historically they don't do that much damage. However, this was a short duration one, and they typically do a little bit more damage than the long duration ones. The real reason I was concerned is because that strong attack 1 has a 16-second cooldown instead of an 8-second cooldown. But in the end it didn't prove to be a problem, because his normal attack was still useful in this build. It probably has something to do with the 50% boost that he gives himself. Overall, this is still an excellent build, and it's worth a shot just to see how much damage the strong attack 2 does. It's not better than his Nad build, but it is still a viable build. Now finally, I had the strong attack recharge build, and it was really nice to know I can go into a build knowing that my normal attack is going to be useful. My only concern with this one was that his strong attacks wouldn't come back quickly enough, and I was kind of right. After all, I have the equivalent of 2 strong attack 2s, so I wasn't able to use a strong attack as frequently as I am some of the other characters. But luckily for me, like I said, his Nad is really useful. If his normal attack wasn't as useful as it is, it'd be a little bit harder to tell whether this would be a viable build, seeing as your recharge build normally gets your moves a lot quicker. But the mix of normal attack and strong attacks for this build is actually viable, and it's a lot of fun to use because of your strong attack 2. So yeah, in the end, while you don't see him as much anymore, and we can all agree he does need a remake, this one is still viable. Honestly, the only complaint I had for him was that his range in his strong attack 3 wasn't better. Either way, it's still a fun character to use, and if you have him, I think you should 200 him. Thank you guys so much for watching. All that's left in Ichigo Week is the top 10 tomorrow. That said, if you like the rewinds and you want to see other characters, let me know in the comments below.